Oh my God.
Hello, welcome back to Skyrocket Automotive. I've got some bad news. Obviously these are our dailies. Head gasket's gone on one of them. That's right, it's the Volkswagen. I know, I expected too much of you too soon with not enough work, that's fine. It's been one of those years. We've had a clutch explosion, had a couple of little breakdowns here and there as the fuel filter worked through its feelings. But unfortunately, I can't keep coolant in this thing. It's pressurizing the cooling system and airlocking itself, and no matter how much you purge the air out, it keeps coming back. That's a sure sign of combustion to coolant, usually. Just got to come back off the road. This is the trouble when you're so busy fixing everybody else's cars. You just never get a chance to work on your own. You did well. The MG's still brilliant, just keeps going. So, some of you may have seen in the background of the videos a 1996 Rover 416 SLI estate. Now, that was my daily, and then the clutch went, and the clutch really does slip bad. So I parked it down there, I was like, I'll get round to it. I've got a clutch sitting in the unit. It's ready to go, just no time. Well, now's time, isn't it? I don't even know if it will start. Can't remember how much fuel I parked it with. We need to get that ready for an MOT right quick in a hurry with a slipping clutch, so it can go in for an MOT, and then we can find out if it's actually viable. And failing that, looks like we're going shitbox hunting. Join us. All right, the guilt is already setting in. We know the battery's going to be flat. What a glorious beast this thing is. Comfiest car I've ever owned, including my P38. As you can see, we've been sitting for a while.
These Rovers are, in my humble opinion, the best it ever got for the British car industry. They are superb. Comfy, reliable, well engineered, nice to work on. They're brilliant. I feel bad for parking this one up, but trust me, this thing was on its way to the scrapyard when I bought it, and it had a slipping clutch when I bought it.
Yeah, like that was going to happen. So, from memory, I had a problem with the key fob sinking while it was parked out the front of the building. So I disconnected the fuse for the horn so that I could resync the key without the car having a meltdown. So we got to look at that. God, the miles I put on this thing. It still smells just like a Rover. Anyone who's sat in an old Rover knows that smell. Hello, Nelly. I'm sorry. You would not believe the life I've had since you were parked. Oh, that's good. We've still got battery. Very impressed with this. I held off buying one for the longest time because I thought they were overpriced, and then I bought a rubbish jump pack, and now I see the value for money that you get from buying a good one. My bad. Is there any juice at all in this old battery? Not convinced there is. Oh! Ooh. I just heard the central locking trigger. I did have a problem with this key fob desyncing. I don't know if I believe you. The central locking's always made that noise. Okay. Right, well, there's no way it will, but we've got to get a better position for if it does. Oh, fuel pump's primed. You have got to be kidding me. Now I feel really guilty. That was a mistake. I really don't believe it. Bless your heart. Right. Oh, these seats, so comfortable. Cassette deck still work? It does. That's all I can show you, I'm afraid, but it does. Oh, the driving position is so different to a Scirocco. All right, will we move? Screen wash? Screen wash. Okay, wiper blades are a concern. Handbrake seized? Yeah. Oh, freed off. The biting point on the clutch is almost at the very top of the pedal. Power steering, I forgot I had that. Man, that biting point's high. Come on. Off the curb. So soft. Yeah, there's some real judder through that clutch pedal. I just got a high beam indicator, that's a sign that that's working. Oh, we just lost some debris. You ever park a car and wonder why? Why did I park this thing? Ooh! You good? You all right back there? I think we might have some schmutz on the brake discs. That surprises me not. Now, you're gonna say, why did you park it? It's obviously a good car. Well, I'm in second gear right now. Hang on, speed up. Hold on, hold on! Right, I'm in second gear right now. Just gonna breathe on the throttle. That's why I parked it. The clutch is fucked. But, as you can hear from the rest of the car, it's a sin for it to rot. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. As you can see, I'm well into the clutch. Don't worry, I've been filming it. There's a time lapse of me taking all the muffy stuff off at the top. We're just battling the suspension on the driver's side. But being the expert filmmaker that I am, I took this for an MOT. Completely forgot to tell you guys about that. What an idiot. That's the first major f*** up I've made in the time I've been making YouTube videos, where I like physically missed a whole last section. The good news is there was no event. Ran the engine up, she went round for MOT, she came back, believe it or not, flew through the emissions. So, failures. Horn not working, both rear indicators are the incorrect colour. This has got the smoked tail lights, so they need orange bulbs. They've just gone yellow/white over the years where they've sort of flaked off. Rear fog light not working is a bit of a doozy, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Probably a bit of moisture. These light lenses like to let water in. Rear anti-roll bar attachment bracket mounting corroded and seriously weakened, and fair enough, yeah, it is. It really is. So we're gonna have to look at that. The pin/bush is excessively worn. I presume that's the one where it comes along through the bracket that's rotten, goes down to almost a very primitive drop link. That bush there, you can wriggle it by hand, so I take it as that one that's failed, which is good because it's the only one I can get. Near side front suspension arm ball joint dust cover no longer prevents the ingress of dirt. That would be a bummer if it wasn't for the following. Near side front suspension ball joint excessively worn. So we're doing a ball joint anyway. The good news is you have to do a whole arm on these. Trying to get the ball joint out would probably destroy the arm, and you can't get the ball joints anyway. So we're doing an arm on the passenger side. They're about 35 quid. They're not anything mental. Now, repair as soon as possible minor defect has been a minor defect since about 2007 on the MOT history, and that's her cracked headlight. That's been there for 15 years. We'll leave it. It's got advisories for front anti-roll bar, bushes worn but not resulting in excessive movement both sides, so I will get round to that. I do at some point want to tighten the front end of this up a bit. It's always been a little bit on the vague side, and I've got a plan for wheels, which I'm not telling you right now, and it will come at a later date. Believe it or not, the exhaust only has a minor leak of exhaust gases, considering it's like a patchwork quilt under there, but I'm struggling to find a middle section, so that's why it's the way it is. There's nothing I can do about it, and it's not a fail, so we'll just keep an eye to the ground. Maybe I get, not an eye to the ground, because you get dirt in it, an ear to the ground, for rumblings of either a good quality original, or if I can afford it at some point, I'd love to put a stainless one on and just not worry about it, because they always go there. I was forever buggering about with my old Rover's exhaust. For some reason, it's the elbow where they come around, they rot away. Advisories for tyres at the back. I've wanted to put tyres on it for the longest time anyway. I might just do a full set of tyres. They're not expensive. You're probably looking at 35 quid a tyre tops, and a little bit of play on the inner steering rack joints. So again, we'll look at getting those at some point, but they're getting tricky to get hold of now. And then obviously the clutch, which is what we're doing. So I hope I've actually done my job this time.
mint, which is nice. Look at how minty fresh that bolt is in there. I'm going to say it, I don't think anyone's ever been in here. Right, starter motor's out. Valio, years. I think that might actually be the original starter motor. Weird little snail on the nose. Just got to do the clutch. This track rod end doesn't look happy at all. I'm going for it. I'm just going to pop this whole guy off. We'll order a set of track rod ends. Least I can do for the old girl. She's worked very hard over the years. Oh, good. Good. Brilliant. Overjoyed at this. Finally, Christ. It was on its way out anyway. Let's get rid of it. Being honest, this is just disassembly, so I'm not going overly crazy about this because there's going to be much more stuff happening when the time comes. Well, the reason for me wanting to pull the drive shaft cup completely out of the transmission is that it's going to give us way more room. That's my hope. It's not going to happen. A guy can dream, can't he? I reckon there's potential there for us to just pop that out. Then we ain't got to piss around with the tri-lobe or anything like that. And it gives us way more clearance. Although clearance doesn't look awful as it is. I think once we start trying to move the gearbox this way, gearbox is going to have to come off that way. So if we can get this cup out, all the better. It's just a case of overcoming the snap ring that holds that shaft in. There are so many stupid little brackets on this gearbox and it's driving me nuts. Hey, there we go. Happy days. Okay, that wasn't so bad at all. Hopefully the other side's as easy. Sweet, there we go. That's in mint nick. Very good. Haven't damaged the seal or nothing. Right, we've got a little bit of G-box oil, that's fine. Did you know these gearboxes use 10W40? Bonkers, eh? Cross everything, except the threads, obviously. No? All right. Okay, let's slow it down a minute. Apologies, this video isn't very organised. It just isn't. Kind of decided last minute, like I do sometimes with certain projects, now's the time. I have a tendency to neglect my personal cars because I've got customers' cars to worry about. I'm actually in a position now of sorely needing a daily driver. All right, he's out. Ah, cool. So this CV boot's just split. So yeah, it's a good thing we're whipping all the drive shafts out anyway.
because we'll just throw another one on. Job's a good one. I may have to time-lapse this again. Sorry. Ooh, fancy that. Okay. There's no way it's coming out. I've got a new one on way, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't come out, but yeah, I thought so. Out you come. Yeah, great. Time lapse. This shoot's going great, isn't it? Mics have gone down now. So drive shafts are out. Just need to get under and disconnect the shifter. There's a tin cover I've got to take off at the flywheel end, a couple of other bingles underneath, and then it's split the bell housing away, undo the engine mounts, and then it starts to get a wee bit shaky on this setup. Be right. No, not even slightly. All right, we've been surprisingly cooperative so far, although we're now dealing with the famous Pt.1 roll pin. So you want to move this all the way back towards the gearbox, and then you need, from eyeballing it, I'd say an 8mm punch. This is going to be great fun. So I'll see you guys in a few. Hi there. Hey, yeah, how's it going? So situation with the roll pin, it's going really well. Still not entirely sure how I managed that. Where I pro everybody, because I got to deal with this now for the next week or whatever. I keep saying I'm dumb. Don't listen to anything I'm selling. I just make videos. Don't listen to me. I'm thick as pig shit. Obviously. Hi there. So I've been ill. So yeah. Anyway, this roll pin. Hit my head. I cannot get him out. Apart from when I now... If you're struggling, go for a break. Coach bolt, nice round head, nice flat nose, M8. On there, sledgehammer. And guess what? He go. I don't know where he go, I just heard him disappear, which is great. But, help me out. Help me out. Help me out. Yeah. Get it. Putting him in gear a bit seems to be helping. Kyle, you haven't put gloves on again. He's done. Happy days. Right, now, where'd the roll pin go? 20 quid says he went in the diff or something, knowing my luck. If there is coolant, I will lay in it. The roll pin's out. I was worried about doing that forever. It's held the whole project up, and I've just laid under here and first kick at the cat, popped it straight out. So, what can I say? Mechanic. So I think I'll get this rod out. Me feeling like listening to Rod Stewart and going through my record collection. I think I'm going to need to take the bracket off the back. God, this is in an horrible spot. It's not like impossible to get to. It's just enough that the ratchet's not very nicely seated on the head. Still, the ratchet's gone in coolant now, which is good. My day just gets better and better. And then I think we've got there's some sort of weird brace bingle goes into the back of the gearbox. So he comes out. There goes the linkage. So it appears as though there are no bell housing bolts on this side of the box, apart from that one I've just seen there. So I'll shut my mouth. Listen, look, listen. Stop it. We'll split the bell housing first, I think, and then the engine mount bolts. Don't look at me like that. The reason for that is I want to make sure that we only undo what's absolutely necessary in order to lower this box down enough to get it off. I don't want to be panicking about the engine falling out of this thing. I'll tell you what, this old girl is coming apart beautifully. To think this would have gone into the scrapyard Nobody wanted it because it wanted a clutch. And I did 40,000 miles on the clutch that it needed. And now, being good old girl. Lovely. And then that'll be that bracket out of the way, and then we can take a view. And I'll bring you guys under for a look, because I'm fully aware that the camera work on this video has been shoddy. So, this will be should be a 12. So it's a 14. Holy moly. I was expecting to hear a zipping noise just then. Bloody hell, all being well, the gearbox is going to be out of this before long. All right, sit rep. Still haven't found the roll pin. So that's good. And yeah, what we need to do now, I think I might remove this bracket here to give us a bit more wiggle room. And then we've got those two and that guy up top. That's the rear mount that goes through the gearbox. Bolt there. That's one that will hold the gearbox to the engine block. This front mount annoyingly bolts straight onto the front of the box. So our engine is going to be hanging off of that mount just there. So we need to be careful how we do this, but basically we release the gearbox and then the car's going to come down. I'm going to lower the car. We're going to gently bring the engine and box down. Oh, f***. One of the things that I really didn't want to have to do, and I completely forgot is one of the things that you absolutely have to do, is I didn't want to disturb this exhaust. Because I remember spending hours undoing the downpipe on my last Rover when the cap failed. Oh, that took forever. Those bolts there are disgusting. And you just know that that friction ring there is going to leak. The problem we've got is if I knacker this exhaust, we're looking for an exhaust. And they are so hard to find. Hence why this one's a patchwork quilt. That's a problem. So the way my lift works basically is it sits very close to where the centre section of the exhaust is. Oh, but with all that said, being a grown-up about it, if I do get the exhaust off, this whole job potentially is much easier. I'm gonna have to go for it. Great. There we go. Right. To the best of my knowledge, that's it. We're into engine mounts, and then we should be able to drop the box. Bell housing bolts on this are about 8 foot long. Oh. Thank you. Right, that should be everybody underneath. Now we can lower the car. See you in a minute. One there, one down there, one up at the top here, and then it's rear engine mount, last bolt with the front engine mount, that side engine mount. We'll get a jack under it before all of that, obviously, because we're not going to be dropping the engine. And then we're just going to have to hope. All right. I should say, I'm normally a lot more fastidious about stuff like this, but this is my daily. This just needs a clutch so that I can keep going to work. We've been sharing a car, and we're pretty good at figuring out a plan, me and Cara, but it's been going on a while now. And there are times where I'm going to need to go out on mobile jobs and Cara's going to need the car, so, you know, there's no sense in having this knocking around if it's not doing anything. This isn't a how-to. If this fails, if we have some aggro and it gets a bit tasty, what we'll do is we'll fit the gearbox to the end of the engine while it's hanging, and we'll bring the engine hoist in and we'll figure something out chains-wise, lift the whole shooting match in, get that end bolt in. B-reat is the plan. As far as I know, that's all she wrote. The gearbox is about ready to come off. I don't see how it's going to move sideways, but I think that's because we need to lower it. So fingers crossed this jack arrangement will work, because it will. It will. It is working. Okay, wiring's all free. I don't think anybody's hanging up. Gearbox is ready to wriggle. All right, that's all the travel we have. Is it going to be enough? It is going to be enough, I think. That's the plastic skirt there. All right, so that mount might get a bit shitty with us, but that's fine. He's got his opinions. I think we can actually get away now with bringing the jack all the way up. Okay, so the engine will hang
at the correct angle. We'll worry about getting it back up in the air in a minute. Right now, all I care about is getting the gearbox out. Should be able to just wriggle it out. Tell you what, I can use that as a catch strap over the top of where the engine mounts to. Right, I'm going to go get my pry bar. Hopefully I can still get hold of my little handle. There you go. Not my cleanest gearbox removal. Nil pois on that front, but Nelly, you are closer now than you have been for quite a significant portion of time to being viable again. So, what's hanging up where now? Right, that clutch release arm is now catching on the plastic bumper tray, which is great. Right, that's free. I believe, for all intents and purposes, the input shaft is off. Theoretically, if I want to be really brave / stupid about it, now the car can come up in the air. Gently press the green, well, gently, it's just on or off, I don't know why I say that, but I always press it gently for some reason. I feel like I'm worried if I stab at it, it's going to take, yeah. If you just raise the lift until I say whoa. Okay. Okay, yep. Whoa. And a skosh more, please. Whoa. That is the gnarliest way I've ever removed a Pt.1, but there we go. He's out. Come here, little fella. Okay, so for anyone thinking that was a bit of a brutal way to remove this gearbox, yep. Right, let me just clarify something about this car, right? This car was sat in an auction yard needing the clutch and nobody wanted it. It sat there for months. It would have gone to scrap, right? We've had a good innings together, and now I just need a daily back. Customer car, I would obviously be way more careful, but this isn't that. I'm thinking that we might have the wrong release bearing here. The good news is, clutch is wrong. I don't see a problem with that if you don't. I could just sell it. No, wait, hang on. No, I can't because I threw the box away. We all make mistakes. I threw the box away because the box was knackered. The clutch looked like it had been kicked here from Scotland. I think UPS just booted it end over end until it arrived. So it's not the end of the world. I'm a bit pissed off. She's been good as gold. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Nelly. It's not a problem. It's only 10mm difference. Part of me was pondering turning the friction plate down. It's fine until you damage the weave on the material and then it explodes and then we're back here again. Just order another one. So I got a part number. They want so much money. Like by the time you factor shipping in, nearly £200 for a clutch. So I went looking and there's a company in Latvia. Home of the friction plate, apparently. They got everything. So, yeah. I've ordered it. It will be here. Either that or I just gave my card details to some random guy in Latvia. It will get here from Latvia at some point. And pause. Which is a pisser, because she's on my lift. Oh, actually, not a pisser, because guess what? Steve's selling a lift. Steve's selling one of these, but a little bit more sort of up and together. Higher budget is the best way I could put it. This is fine, but it's a lower budget lift. He's selling one that goes vertically up. It's a lot more stable. It's a lot more mobile. That'll be my new main lift. What I think I might do, put it where the 16 valve is currently sitting and work just there for now. This old girl she deserves a rest. She's been outside for a year, man. Look at this. Appalling. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Wish me the best. I might be about to get mugged. It actually arrived. Go figure. Easily less than half the price I could get one here. They took their sweet ass time sending it out. I will give it that much. Like, it took them, I think, 6 days to actually dispatch it. So it was a little bit touch and go, but once it was dispatched, it got here in 2 days. And it's a Bonza quality kit. I'm very, very impressed. Mustn't grumble. Less than half the price, but it took a little while longer to get here. You decide. We have a clutch. Do you know it's the end of the day? I think I'm going to go for it. I did go to change the release bearing just now and it exploded. Annoyingly, I didn't get that on camera because I was planning on just going, all right, so we've got the release bearing in.
and tell you a couple of funny stories about what happened, but explosion. Anyway, we've got the old release bearing back in. I'm a bit pissed off, to be honest, about that because they're not fun to fit. So to be now back at exactly the first step I was at just before I thought, I'll pull a late one tonight and make some moves. It's not the greatest feeling. Okay, anyway, more importantly than my moaning, moment of truth. Oh, thank God, they are the same size. Do we fit our spline? We fit the spline. Thank God. This release bearing is not terrible. I'm running it. Been fine in there. It wasn't noisy when I brought the car off the road, despite the hot supper it's had. So yeah, we're gonna run that release bearing. Pressure plates. Like, I have no reason to think that this is not gonna be exactly the right thing. So just checking the bolt pattern right now, because yeah, we're good. These don't match, but that's because they're pointing the wrong way. You flip them around that way. Happy days. We're good. We'll put the clutch back in now, yeah? Up she goes, Nelly. Car goes up. Oh, oh. You good? Making all the noises. And car goes down. Gently. Ever so gently. Right. God almighty, that Hoover scared the life out of me. I don't know what I thought was happening. All right, His Majesty the Flywheel doesn't seem to have had a particularly great time. There's a lot of heat blushing, so what you do about that is pretend you didn't see it. Let's go. If this was a customer car, obviously I would recommend we change the flywheel or have this one faced. I ain't gonna read all that. There's a few heat blushed spots there. I'm not panicking about it. The thing is, you saw the ball ache I had trying to get hold of a clutch for this thing. What are the odds that we can get hold of a flywheel? We'll run it. If it bites me on the ass later on, then so be it. I will have to get it faced. Like I say, we didn't have any oil fouling. It actually doesn't feel too bad. Ring gear looks in good nick. Let's send it. So all I'm doing right now is trying to break some of that glazing. It's just some 80 grit. I'm just using it to break that glazed surface. It just helped the clutch to bed in a little bit more gently instead of slipping as soon as we try and engage it and gradually getting rid of this on its own. Which it will, believe it or not. Friction material is surprisingly hard, so it's able to wear the flywheel down. Like I say, just the general rough up makes a surprising difference with this sort of thing. And as the clutch bed's in, this will all basically polish, but it will kind of lap in with the new friction material. That's good enough, I think. Yeah, that's better. Look, you can just hear it's got a little bit of grippiness to it. You don't want it grabby, just give it another blast in case we've managed to pull any stuff out of the pores of the metal. That will do perfectly nicely for a road going low horsepower car like this. We're not doing any big launches off of the line at Santa Pod. Get the clutch alignments all ready. We've got this very old school snap-on clutch alignment tool, and it's even got most of the bits with it. So basically for this, we need to find an end piece that will engage happily with the pilot bearing on the engine end of things. I think it's probably going to be this one. This may be a little too big. You can find out by getting it roughly lined up. That don't look too bad. How's he? Oh, that might be a better shout. Let's try it on the actual car. In the hole for the pilot bearing, of which this is too big. So we go the next size down. And that one's too small. Of course, this old chestnut. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go and modify this. Just gonna put a bit of a chamfer on it. All right, we've just cleared up a bit of space. There you go, that's a lovely fit now. I've put a chamfer on it, so the tail end is still the original size. So we've not lost out on anything by trimming this down. It just allows us to get things aligned a little better. No different to buying one of them fancy pants modern taper guy bingles. So now we find something that's gonna fit our center plate. Again, you can see these have got a taper on them, too loose. Bingo, number 3. Just like that. Happy days. Right, clutch alignment tool's ready to rock. Let's get the clutch in this bloody thing and put the gearbox back on. This bit's always a bit of a chuckle. What you got to do is lift the whole assembly in one go and press the pressure plate onto the dowels. Don't worry about the fact that the cover plate is a little bit grubby. I just popped it on the floor a second ago to clean it. So this will all wipe off. Right, we got him on the dowels. He's on the ropes. We'll slip our clutch alignment tool through, find the center. There you go, right. It's not essential that that's locked in right this minute because now we've got to put the bolts in. Helps to just get a couple in. Get it established. Now, a common misconception about clutches being centralised is that they have to stay centralised forever. The minute you release this clutch plate will figure it out, as it were. What this is doing is allowing us to fit our gearbox back on without having to bugger about too much. So technically, the clutch should hold these bolts in place a la massive spring washer, but we ain't taking any chances. They're all torqued. Happy days. Lovely. Perfect. Wriggly, clutch alignment tool's out. He looks very nicely centered in there. Let me bring you up to show you what I mean. Boom. Bang in the middle. Hello. Kara's filming for us, which is very nice because I kept shoulder barging the tripod. We're working with what we've got vis-a-vis this lift. The lift's fine. The room available is not fine. I'm basically having to try and handball the gearbox in. Right, we've got earths everywhere. Astronauts discovering a parallel universe where everything's earth. Right. So the reason I made that chain is because now I can hang it off the engine mount, which is going to allow us then to align the bellows in. We're not a million miles off. I'll see you in about 45 minutes when we're in the exact same position we're in now. Remember, the jankier the solution, the scarier the solution, the more beer points you get telling the story around a campfire. Are you laughing at me?
Just a little.
I'm an octopus. My legs are just as incompetent as my hands. Get! Oh dear. Come on, Nelly. This is the trouble when a gearbox all but falls out. You don't really get a lay of the land as far as going back in. That was a slow injury. The bellows out of the gearbox just saw my knuckle and just went. Oh! Let's see what's happening. Jack Dress trolley! You bastard turncoat.
I regret nothing.
He slipped off the box, he's in the way. Useless. At the risk of this bit getting too moany, too whingy, too huffy puffy, let's just dip to black and I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, let's catch up for a second. I don't know what the f is going on. I don't know what the problem is. I centered that clutch perfectly. Everything's fine. Everything's the right size. Everything's the right number of splines. Everything. The engine has not moved an inch since I took this gearbox out. I have never, ever had this much trouble getting the gearbox in, and it still isn't in. It's held in place by a single bolt right now that I daren't tighten down any further in case there's a problem with the splines, because I'll ruin the clutch. I put a clutch in my Scirocco on my driveway on my back with the trolley jack and hand tools. I've got a lift and I still cannot get this gearbox in. So, as you know, I don't like showing me getting all huffy puffy and pissed off, which I'll freely admit, this has been driving me nuts. Genuinely, really pissing me off, because there's no reason. The gearbox came out so easily and now it just refuses to go back in. Anyway, that's why it's probably been a bit of a dip to black and back up again, but I'll be honest, I'll be straight with you. This ain't one of those YouTube videos where a voiceover happens and gearbox is in. I've been struggling like nobody's business most of the morning trying to get this back in. So, word to the wise, if you're doing an R8 gearbox, I don't know what to tell you because I still haven't done this one. I'm at much less risk of the gearbox falling out and mashing my head now like a paste, which is good. So hopefully, I can see it wanting to line up. This is maddening. Absolutely maddening. At least now I know it's bolted at the top. Again, I've left a gap. It's just held there so it can't physically fall out. Now I can hopefully get under, figure out what's going on. Okay, there was a wriggling situation, followed by a pop, and everybody looks like they're starting to fall in line. I hope. So now, it's so close, it's ridiculous. I can literally see the dowels trying to engage. Okay, the bolt isn't starting, which suggests to me it's slightly out of alignment. I might have to very gently insist. Right, that'll give us a bit more of an indicator of how things are going. Okay, just give it a little turn, please. Nice. You're massive then. Right. With drive confirmed, thanks to Kara spinning the engine over by hand, it was time for me to sort out the various bingles underneath, get everything roughed in, and hopefully, finally begin the process of putting this bloody car back together. Who would have thought that this was going to be this much of a hassle? Okay. We are getting there. We're getting there. So, left to do, this upper bolt on this front engine mount, which is a bitch to get to. Refill the gearbox oil. Very important we don't forget that step. Start a motor, then it's wiring, air hoses, speedo cable, clutch cable. Theoretically should be done. I've got the drive shaft, intermediate shaft as it were, so to speak, if you catch my drift as it were. Where is he? Hello? He's in there. Where is he? There. Holy shit, there he is. He's in there. Got that in, not fitting the other drive shafts right now because we're going to bosh some CV boots on. And then, once the CV boots are on, there we go, sorry about that. Once the CV boots are in, whistle everybody back together and just hope we've got a clutch and gears. We're not miles off. It's taking forever. But we'll have the Squishmobile back. Right, I'll see you guys in a bit. I took care of the reassembly of the engine and other boring bits off camera because I don't want to put you guys through that. So now it was time for us to see if we had a clutch pedal. And something horrible happened. I'm genuinely wrecking it. Oh my god. What the f happened in there? It's gone so mouldy. Actually, don't know what to say. I'm genuinely shocked. This was fine. You were here for a test drive. What the hell happened? There's something there. Our gearbox oil's filled. This guy is cracked to buggery. I just see that causing us aggro down the line. These are a couple of quid. The only issue with them is they're a bit of a pain in the Harris to fit. So the good news is, we're getting away from the car for a minute. It's nice to have a change of scenery, stretch your legs, all that stuff. But there's plenty of grease in there, so they haven't failed yet. Wow, thanks Nelly, genuinely. They can be a right pain in the ass to get off sometimes. I had to use a sledgehammer to install one of them on the MG one time. Oh, okay. Glove up! You do it every time, man. Look at the state of your hands already. The good news is I'm not moving any customer cars today. I have, however, got band practice later, so my guitar is just going to be just howling. Well, hopefully the other side cooperates like that, because my God, that was the easiest CV removal I've ever done. Happy days. Okay, previous bodgery of foot is stuff like this that meant when the clutch started slipping, I'm like, I think I'm all right for now. Good news is, all you got to do is cut that end one off, which we'll do. I like to not clean all the grease off. What for making this job slightly easier. I have a very, very old CV boot tool. Don't think it's going to work for this application, being honest with you. So let me show you, if you're in shit, you can do this. It's just easier to manipulate a socket than it is to manipulate an entire bloody great drive shaft, because they're not the lightest thing in the world. Maybe I'm just feeling that a bit more from how much I've hurt myself putting the gearbox back in. Do look after yourselves, folks, alright? I don't want you getting hurt. Just a biggish half-inch socket. In the words of Tommy Cooper, just like that. Pop it over the clip. You can remove the clip, but it just saves you potentially distorting it. And then we just need to turn this guy back on himself. That's what screwdrivers are for. Be careful, don't damage it, or you'll be back to square one. There we go, and roll it round. I don't want to overpack this, to be honest with you. We'll just press that back in. So what we don't want is hydraulic action popping this guy back off. So we've got to line our splines up with the end at shaft, like so. Slot them on. Just want to tap it home. What you don't want is your CV joint popping off when you turn right. There we go. Truthfully, getting to the CV boot is the biggest pain in the arse. Well, you've got them out of the gearbox. Get them done. Because you're only going to have to do it at some point anyway. If you do it now, it's done. Now, the only pisser with these universal CV boots, that's kind of a fit. I'm not keen on the way that fits. I'm going to try and stretch up to the next size if it's at all possible. These universal boots tend to be far more malleable than an OE boot, because obviously the original OE one needs to fit one size of drive shaft. I would like this tight, so we'll go like that. That feels better. Very good. We also want all this gone, because when we go to fit our clip in a minute, we don't want the clip slipping and a sliding. And you want to pull this guy as tight as you can get it. I'm such an old fart that I remember when it was actually acceptable to just use a cable tie, but they put the kibosh on that. I presume because there were too many happy people in this country not having to worry about this part of the job. Now, there is a tool for this. I don't have it. I normally just use a set of side cutters. So what I do is come in carefully, squeeze. No slip there at all, and I haven't even finished going all the way up with it. Whip round here with a Stanley knife. Get the excess gone. Ditto this little guy. And we're done. Right, we can let a little air back in now. There you go, do you see it puff back up? It just meant we weren't fighting with the hydraulic action. I'm just going to whiz around and cut that off. So there's nothing wrong in the world with using one of these universal kits. As long as you do a good job of fitting it. Woohoo! Yeah, don't do that. Nice. Right, not the world's prettiest, but definitely functional. You want to clean off the excess grease, because if it gets around to the MOT station and they see grease everywhere, they're going to quite rightly think your CV boot ain't doing its thing. I'll take it. Happy days, that'll do. It's a CV boot. We ain't doing paint and body here, do you know what I mean? Pretty enough for whizzing round at final drive speeds. Do the other one off camera. See you in a few. Probably not a crap idea for us to change the sound while we're here, actually. Let's be honest. Nice, shiny new arm. I will obviously change the other side at some point, just to level everybody out. Here's what it is. Good old girl, Nelly. Cheers, my dear. 15, really? Oh, good. We're not shitting around anymore, let's go. Oh no. Not like this, Nelly. Come on. Oh. There we go. Just to save yourself a bit of frustration, just before this is about to come out, get the socket loose on the head then, because if you run this all the way off, you're going to be rowing with it, trying to get the bolt out of the socket. Throwing the socket on the ground, trying to get the bolt to come out, all that stuff. Punch! Ow! Be interested to know what the actual time is to do this arm. Feck. Okay. That'll be why then. This front one's going to be even better, isn't it? Because that's the leading edge where all the road dirt ends up. My thumb, my finger, a female finger. What am I saying? My finger feels like it's been kicked in the balls as a result of that little interaction just then, so that's good. I'm properly aching. Like, I don't like to bellyache too much about stuff like this, about stuff like that, but man, I've worked really hard at getting this thing done, and sure, I'm paying the price now, man. Really am. Oh, happy days. I don't want this guy snapping off on me. I also don't want to weaken it. Just go back on yourself if you need to. Take your time. Trust me, you don't want to be drilling this thing out. Right, what I'm going to do now, because it's clearly not the suspension bushes that are causing the issue, just gonna blast a load of spray grease on the end of that thread so it can hopefully clean the bolt up as it works its way through now that I've broken all the crusty crap off it. Yeah, see, like just getting a little spray grease involved in that situation can't be a bad thing, really. We don't want to be wrecking bolts and stuff. Right, I've got a feeling that that's actually undone and it's just glued in. When you're in a situation where the bolt's spinning but it's run out of thread, you just get a spanner in behind the flange on the bolt and then wind it out, which I'll try and do, but I'm all fingers and thumbs. Basically what you're doing is creating that same pressure that a thread would create to incline the bolt to move out, like that. So as you're putting a load of stress on the bolt, if those threads are catching on something, you're going to flatten all the threads out. I'm going to get this guy out of the way nice and quick. Happy days. Done. I'm going to fit the arm up, obviously I'm going to tighten things down. I'll ask the guys at Steve's to crack it back off on their 4-post lift and then re-torque it, just to let the arm settle correctly so we don't strain the bush. That's not a terrible quality part, though. Look at that. Nice bit of deburring going on. Superb. Very happy with that. I'll put some Loctite on this. I don't want to crunch this down until I've fitted everything else up. I'm literally just getting everything established. By the way, in case you're wondering, I just checked the runtime on that section where I took this out. 9 minutes. They're nice to work on, what can I say? Other than the gearbox, still not sure what happened there, to be honest. But generally speaking, this is what they're like. They come apart like Meccano. You get the occasional rusted fastener, but you're going to get that on a car that's 30 years old. You just are. You can't be all surprised Pikachu face when you buy an old car and something's rusted on it, you know what I mean? Now would have been a cracking time for us to change our anti-roll bar bushings at the front. I'll be honest, I'm just going to buy some drop links at some point. I like the way the car drives at the moment. It's not an excessive amount of movement and all that. So, right now, I ain't overly worried. Now why did I just put this guy in first? Because the anti-roll bar is going to be the bit that we have to battle the most. So, when I find my ratchet, actually I can run this in on the impact and then we'll give it a torque. Because these guys up here will pull down in a reasonably straightforward fashion. We'll let the engineering do its thing and stuff like that. Not my problem. All I've got to do is tighten it down. We'll be fine to run these right the way down because that's what they're designed for. Bloody Dracula's mansion ass suspension component. If I can just get the front end stuff done today, I'm going to call that a win. Start it up, see if we've got a clutch. Hopefully we've got gears. Christ, I'm not happy at how awkward it was to try and get that sodding gearbox, so I'm just worried right now. I just want to confirm that everything's okay. And once I've confirmed that, it's the back end bits, and we're done. Been an interesting one this, with a lot of fighting. A lot more fighting than I'd have liked. I like to be quite procedural, just work through things. I don't blame her, she's in a piss with me because I parked her, fair enough. All's fair in love and war. Being a bitch. Yes. Satisfactory. Well done, Nelly. Round of applause all round. Oh, you knobhead. I put the drive shaft in. I'm tired, man. Alright, give me a break.
Have you heard about my band? They're called Drive Shaft.
Lost? Anybody? Is he in? He's in! Ooh, let's not do that. It's a good way to damage your new ball joint loop. Put the ball joints down. Who do you work for? If you've levelled up, like me, 2 adjustables, it's just quicker and easier than frigging around him like that. Wow, this hasn't been touched since the 90s. So in this scenario, what you do, I'm just going to invert that because it's easier. Just lock him in. Just like that. Keep that guy as still as you can. Because now we're going to go back up the way we came. Wind them off. And it should be as straight a swap as it's possible to do. We now want to wind the new one down, pointing vertically upwards, as close to that lock nut as we can get it, and then fit them up, tighten that back down. And our tracking shouldn't be all that far out. Which one of you got Under the Moon of Love stuck in my head? That's up. Who is it? Honestly. Look how much better that looks. Are you joking? Sorry if I'm irritating, by the way, right now. I mean, I'm more so than usual. This car put me through the ringer a little bit. Right, there we go. See, we've barely moved. Get our lock nut on there just to hold everything still. Give that a forkly one. Click! That's not going anywhere, etc, etc. Job done. What size is he? Me weighing up whether or not I'll win a fight at a pub. Right, this is the part I hate about big jobs like this. This is where, I think it's why I'm so careful on customers' cars. This is where every single thing that I have done up to this point, my brain's going, did I do that? Did I do that bit? So if I go quiet or come across as a bit grumpy, I'm just thinking. My brain does this to me, unfortunately. It's torture. Because it's like, did you talk that? I'm like, yeah, checked it 6 times, but now, give me a sec. I've got to get in this nasty ass interior now, so just equip my safety equipment. Oh my god, man, it's like getting into an airlock in Stranger Things. Yes! Okay, we've got some wibbly wobblies. I presume that's because the hub nuts need to be tightened down fully. What a result. I can relax now. Clutch feels reasonably good. Bike foot feels a little low, I can tweak that. I do appear to have developed a sticky throttle somehow, which is very strange. Never something that's been an issue on this. I'm just going to beat the crap out of the throttle assembly with grease. I hope it comes around. So when you're going to refit this to the bracket, it goes there between those two ferrules. Watch the throttle. See that? And when it's all fully clamped down, bizarrely, that was actually causing it to sit and idle at like 3,000 RPM. So for now, I ain't going to sweat about it. I think we're just snagging on stuff. That is all shit I can handle another day. Right now, I just want my Rover back. I think we just got another step closer. Tin of Coke time. Dual wielding. You know how it goes. That one has been out for a while. She's back. Decided now she's a forever car. That was the only what if. And I've told myself everything I need to know about that situation. The what if was regarding the clutch. The clutch went, I've put a clutch in it. Nelly stays. That's that now. I already let one of these slip through my fingers and I miss it terribly. It's one of my biggest regrets in the car ownership world, shall we say. Nelly stays. So, which means I need to sort that interior out. Great. You guys don't care about any of this blogger bullshit while I'm walking around staring at the camera, so I'm going to cut this out now. Right, it is 4 o'clock. I've got loads and loads and loads of footage from today that I now need to put on the computer. So I'm calling it there, but we have drive. Great. Excited. More importantly than anything, I get off my lift. Okay, cool. See you in the queue.
I need to open the car again. Anyway, believe it or not, all that work was only actually 2 MOT things. The good news is, they're 2 of the biggest ball aches to do, and we had to do them in order to do the clutch. We also put some lovely new track rod ends on there. I think that's going to tighten up the steering quite a bit. The inners are slightly worn, I'll get looking for them, but even for now, that might just take a little bit of the slop out of the steering. So let's make some like meaningful progress now, I think, because otherwise things are going to get slow. Before we tackle that anti-roll bar, let's do the electrical bits. So we've got, just to remind you, horn not working, both indicators are the wrong colour at the back. Fog light not working is a weird one. That's it. That hopefully should be maybe, possibly maybe potentially simple? No? All right. No, yeah, you're right, you're right. Excuse me, I need to get by you. Oh, hey, listen, look, listen. I paid a rent on this place, Gaffer. I've got just as much right to be here as you, okay? So, let's connect up. Pack le jump. We may be about to solve 2 MOT problems with a 15 amp fuse. Might be about to get a little loud in here. We synced? Uh-oh. Right, let me just resync the key fob. These things do happen. Now you may think that was a bit of YouTube ponciness as far as when the key fob worked. The reason I was so surprised is because this is actually par for the course. Come on, old girl. I know you're tired. I know your battery's tired. We had to disconnect the battery in order to, you know, lock still doesn't work. So we try again. There we go. Oh my, it's terrible in here. Okay, let's start her up. Okay. Very good. I need to borrow you, please, your eyes, your face. We have brake lights. Oh my God, I've got to touch the stalks. Bad, it's bad. That's bad, it's bad. It's greasy, slippery bad. Okay. We got tails. Do we have fog? Yes! Wait. No. Huh. All right. Well, that could be fixed. Smells terrible in here. It smells like a student flat. It's taken me back to my early days of hating my job. Oh my God, everything is so moldy in here. Right. Well, that's no good. That'll be why that's not working. We try him. That fixed it. 2 birds with 1 stone here. Give us a minute. As you can see, that's way too white. Aces. Jaguar XJ220, by the way. Rare L@K. I won't take a penny less than £4,000. He's looking most unhappy. Better yet, so are the all the bolts, which is great. Try and undo them too without ruining them. And then undo that, bracket off, and we're gonna clean this down and weld the living buggery out of it. And then it should be right. Obviously I can't weld it right here. Can you spot why? Boom, 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 boom. That's right, that's the fuel filler neck, just there. So yeah, probably not an idea to heck around with that. Filler neck itself is not looking too happy. Great. Looking forward to dealing with that in 3 to 5 years because I won't be touching it before then. All right, let's get our asses in gear. This is taking too long. What we got right there is a 10mm that's rusted out to an 11mm. Nice. Happy with that. Cripes. All I'm going to say is it's a good thing I've got replacement bolts knocking about. Cool, there's one. Out we come. I'm hoping I can rotate this. That's about the shape and size of how it tends to go around here. Right, oh, he turned. And now I'm hoping I can rattle that guy off with my slim packed driver. Get out, get out, get out. Huh. All right, that's classic water retention. That's the bush letting water down, holding it against there and rotting that section out. So we should be able to just reinforce this. Lots of cleaning, obviously. Reinforce it, plate it, descale everything else, nice coat of paint. Happy days, we're back. Right, hopefully this new angle grinder doesn't kick off again. That was dodgy as anything yesterday. Bloody thing randomly turned itself on. Something going on with this switch. Can't bloody win. My old Erbauer one used to turn off at the drop of a bloody hat. This one, I couldn't turn it off, and then when I did turn it off, it was sitting there going gzz, gzz. Yeah. Disappointing, because I've used quite a few McAllister tools and they've been alright, so. That's lethal. That's bloody lethal. Don't like that at all. This is going back. Piece of shit. We're nearly there, guys. Just the bush. And we're away. I'm not going to bother with the, don't worry, it's not my prettiest work thing. If you can't see that I'm fixing a daily, this might not be the channel for you. Right. Oh, it's going to feel so good to get this done. Been a bit of an epic adventure, this one. Yeah, as you can see, it's just clagged. Spider? No. Okey-doke. Leave some flex, because this guy now needs feeding through and you can't see where you're going. Can I get in there? Me when I'm not on the list at a club. Let's go. Oh yeah. Even managed to crack a couple of vertebrae there. So I'm going to come out from under this car with my back feeling better for a change. All's well that ends well. Give it the socket. Thank you. Et voila. Right, I do believe, that's the fella. That's the one. It was him, officer. He failed the MOT. See that? Nice that they were able to pin it down to that particular. They're so clear when they explain stuff, man. It really is nice. It's working with professional people who know what they're doing. You ain't got to wonder if they're condemning the car because they don't like it. Did actually have an... Oh, yeah. So my hope is I can undo this, whip this drop link out, and hopefully the knackered bush will fall out, and then I can use a G-clamp or something to pop the new bush through. Is my hope. Okay, the good news is I think I might even be able to do it without removing that. Hey, I'm gonna go get the new bush. Let's have a look. And just for comparison, see how the middle isn't all wallowed out like it is on this guy? That'll be it. Out you come. Bush has been spray greased. Oh, God bless you, Nelly. Hugely appreciated. This guy's got so much more resistance now, look. Excellent. Beautiful. Oh, I'm glad we ended on a light note, Nelly, that was good. Just whistled a bit of Loctite on there. Only the mild stuff. We do make a good team there in this car. Nelly, give it back. Thank you. That is solid compared to how it was before. Oh, tasty. Very pleased. Oh, thank God for that. Hi. We're done. Oh, we're done. That's it. Interior next. Is it too late to just burn the car to the ground? Probably, eh? It's quite a lot of money on parts, got a bit of downtime. Quite a few lost hours at work. Yeah, torching the car's not a good shout right now. That's a shame. Anyway, yeah, so look at that bush. Wallowed right out. That'll be why it was wibbly wobbly. Shaggered. Cool. Right, don't laugh. It turns out I don't have any masks, which is great. This is ridiculous. This is a really heavy, damp towel, by the way. So while I'm not able to breathe as easily, this stuff can't get through as easily. I seriously don't know what the happened in here. I seriously can't work it out. There was a bit of moisture in here, but Christ. So this needs the big guns. The trouble is, right, so I used to deal with mould professionally. Back in the day when I did property maintenance, my job was going around to mouldy houses, finding out what the cause was, not just painting over them, Mr. Landlord, no matter how much you didn't like my quotes. Fix the cause, kill the mould, seal all the surfaces, then decorate. That was 90% of what I did for a living before this. So I know you can wipe it away. You won't be able to see it. It'll still be there. We need to deep clean this interior. Now, obviously I can't send it around to Steve like this, especially me knowing what I know about mould. I'd be some sort of pig to expect people to do that, and I won't do it. So here's what we're gonna do. This needs to be out of here now. I've got best customer coming tomorrow morning. This needs to be out of the way. So what we need to do ultimately is give this thing a full detail, over and under. Seats out, everything apart that we can get apart. The carpets are toxic, as you can see. And also, I want to sort the exterior out. So, how about this? My old Cliffhanger, I think it's safe to say it will go through the MOT. But my old Cliffhanger, join us next time when we sort this out. We find out if Nelly will go through an MOT. We find out if the clutch replacement worked and went well. And then we give this poor old girl a birthday party. Inside and out, full detail. Let's get this beautiful old Rover as nice as we can get it, as pretty as we can get it, and looking as loved as we can get it to look. I might even phone up Andy Dent Repair Guy, as he's saved in my phone, because he's very good and he might be able to PDR some of these dents. Lovely. Right, if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. Thank you very much to my channel members, Patreon members and other such lovely folks. Just thank you so much for your support. Really means the world to me. If you enjoyed this video, you may well enjoy the video that's currently going on with me and Farmboy resurrecting another abandoned car of mine and an abandoned vehicle of his. Those things are going to be doing 500 miles, hopefully. Right, I'm out of here. I'll see you later.